All right, it is the start of Black History Month on this February 1st, and there's a new film airing this month that depicts a piece of recent history. It's the real-life kidnapping of Carlisha Gaither. You might remember in 2014, she was abducted in Germantown. That's a neighborhood in Philadelphia. But it was her courage, her inner strength, and knowledge that helped rescuers find her. So take a sneak peek at Abducted Off the Street, the Carlisha Gaither story.
911, what's your emergency?
I just witnessed the kidnapping.
A Lifetime original movie.
Where is my daughter?
We're doing everything we can. Based on a true story.
She is leaving us a trail.
Carlisha, you have always been a fighter. Hear my voice. Fight your way back home. I thought I was going to
Oh my
die.
gosh, okay, so I have chills. Joining us now is actress Riele Downs. She plays Carlisha Gaither in that new film. When you watch that, what are you feeling?
Similar chills to what you're experiencing, even though I went through the motions, you know, to see it like that from the outside perspective, still gives the same feeling for sure. Like it's a haunting story.
Tell us about it. Do you remember when it happened?
Yes, when her story happened?
Yes.
I didn't hear about it. I'm from Canada originally, so I'm not accustomed to a lot of the news happening out here, but obviously I read into it a lot once I got like the request for the role, and I was like, wow, like just to see how she made it out of that is so inspiring.
You know, she's still living.
Yes.
How tough is it to play a role like that? You know, knowing she could be watching.
Right.
How do you get into that role?
Absolutely, that's a good question. I mean, I didn't get to meet her per se, so I had to pull from a lot of my own, like kind of also create my version of the character. But I guess the toughest part was wanting it to be accurate because it is such sensitive material, and I wanted it to obviously feel realistic and for her story to be honored and portrayed properly. So that getting that right was definitely where my work went into play.
You reading about how she, you know, what happened.
Yes.
Set the stage for us, you know, for people that may not know the story about what happened with her.
Yeah. So, I mean, she was just walking home from a family function, and this guy just sort of started talking to her, and then he abducted her and stuffed her into his car and was driving around the city, kind of keeping her locked in there for 72 hours. And the reason why her story is so inspiring is because it was because of what she did that she was able to escape. Like leaving notes like her bank card and she strategically dropped her phone and her glasses while she was getting abducted, which is such an inspiring thing to do.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you think, gosh, you know, would I know what to do if something happened to me? I think I'd be so terrified I would freeze. But somehow she had her wits about her. One thing I noticed from that particular clip is her mother and that bond between her mother saying, "Oh, can you hear me? Can you?" You know, that Tell
connection.
me about that.
Yeah, about how I worked with Kenya. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like
Kenya Moore was in the movie.
Yes, she was. She played my mother, and I feel like that was the driving force of like Carlisha's strength and why she was able to get through something that difficult. And I can relate to that in my own life. I feel like my mother is that person for me. So getting to meet Kenya, and she had her daughter there, so seeing that maternal side, we bonded pretty quickly and just got to dig into like what that type of relationship would have been like for them. Yeah.
The movie is on Lifetime.
Yes.
And it's airing actually in February.
Yes, it is.
And why is that, do you think, important?
I think it's important for so many reasons. I mean, I've said before, it's important that this story be shown across any month, but because February is when people are specifically looking for Black media to support, I feel like that's when we want to show it the most so that people can really latch onto it and watch it in this time. Because, you know, it's the time we need to tell our stories while the focus is on us.
Well, I tell you, it's intense.
Yes.
It is intense, but it is well worth watching.
Thank you.
Fabulous. That
Thank
clip
you so much.
really grips you. So best of luck with
Thank you so much.
with your future projects as well. That film, by the way, is Abducted Off the Street, the Carlisha Gaither story. It is going to premiere on Lifetime Saturday, February 10th.